Wow,
The
okay.
difference here is huge.
Huge, eh?
Huge, yeah.
Hi everyone and welcome back to Color Analysis Studio. I'm Giulia and I'm here today with my friend Simone and
Hello.
of course with Alessandra.
Ciao guys, I'm here in the background today.
So we're going to analyze the colors of Simone that, as you can see, are quite rare and particular. So it's going to be a very interesting and rare analysis. So stay focused. Let's start.
Okay, so Simone, what do you know about color analysis?
You know, I'm learning it.
Yeah.
Still like confused with the color, especially with the one close to my palette.
Okay.
Because I'm always like, oh, this is good, this is good, this is good, or this is not good.
I analyzed Simone already, but very quickly. We know his season, but we want to check his subgroup today. But we're going to do all of the steps from the beginning, of course. So now I'm covering Simone's hair so we can focus better on his skin. Of course, he still has his beard, but we need to focus on the skin in the undertone phase. So let's start comparing a warm red with a cool red. This one is the warm one, yellow-based, tomato red, and we have to compare it with a blue-based red, more of a berry version of red. We need to see where Simone's skin looks more healthy, more relaxed. Okay, so let's have a look again. Warm or cool?
Yeah, this is better, right?
Absolutely, yes, bravo.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Very good, very good. The warm red works way better than the cool one because it's yellow based. So this warmth is really brightening up your skin. So your skin looks very golden in a beautiful way. So this yellow reflection that comes from this color really suits you, Simone. So it looks healthy on you. If we remove this golden component, you see how you become all gray. So this color is stealing color from you, while this color is adding color on you, but in a harmonious way. Okay.
It's just accentuating what is naturally have, right?
That's right,
It's
that's
very,
right.
very warm.
Now, pinks. Let's start with the cool one now. So we go from cool pink to a salmon, so a very warm color, still quite light, but in the orange family. And even here the difference is huge. So maybe we see Simone's colors like this and we don't notice anything, but when we swap and we go from cool to warm, we really see how his skin becomes all golden. Okay, this is a very healthy effect that we see on Simone's skin. So this image here looks very harmonious, while here Simone's skin becomes pale, but not in a healthy way. It doesn't become light, it's just becoming paler and grayer, while here it has still a very light but healthy and golden color. Very beautiful. So even in this case,
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
warm color works better.
You know, Giulia, a lot of people that have a warm undertone but light skin color complain about their pale skin. How many times happen that
Yes.
some clients say, I'm very pale,
very
I'm very
pale."
pale. It's not a problem being fair.
Yeah.
It's a problem that maybe with the
The
wrong
undertone.
color, the undertone is really, really important. So
Exactly.
as soon as you place the wrong color, skin looks paler.
Yes.
But it's just a fair skin, right?
Exactly.
It's not something negative to have a fair skin. So don't complain. But with the warm color, you are definitely not pale because it's giving you a very golden and tan,
Exactly.
sun-kissed
Exactly.
effect on your skin.
That's right. The skin still looks light, but in a healthy way. This is what we want to see. So even when it comes to dark colors, here we have a warm brown versus navy blue. This color is very popular for men. Men's clothing is full of these dark blues, right? And you can even think that this color is good for you because you have blue eyes. So you see this matchy effect.
Yeah.
But what happens to your skin, Simo? It looks gray like this because you're missing that warmth. So between a dark brown, warm brown, and a dark blue that is cool, the brown still works better. Now, whites. Very interesting color because sometimes people who are quite fair think that they shouldn't use white. There's a white for everyone, okay?
Which is what my mom repeated me every day. Yeah.
Always listen to them.
To the map.
Yeah.
Okay, next to this kind of neutral, cool, vivid white, we can see that something is not really working. This white looks very disconnected from your face, and once again it's stealing color from you. But it's not because it's light, it's because it's cool, okay? Because when we switch to another light color that is warm, once again golden, warm, but in a natural way, okay? So even this comparison is quite telling about Simone's undertone that is warm. You see how he loses color here, and here we are adding this warmth to his skin that looks very, very harmonious. So this is what we look for in color analysis. And this is also a perfect example of a person who is light but warm. Some people think that light skin equals cool undertone. Absolutely not true. Now these two drapes represent silver, cool, and gold. Wow!
The difference here is huge.
Huge, eh?
Huge, yeah.
So this is just a proof that your undertone, Simo, is very warm. So stay away from grays.
Okay.
If you can avoid one color, gray is really, really far away from you. Well, look at this gold. You see how even your eyes look bluer, they look more intense, they pop, and your skin brightens up. So let's say that with Simone, the undertone face is quite easy. We don't have any doubts about his undertone straight away. Now gold and silver, but with different fabrics. Let's use these shimmery drapes. Okay, so let's have a look. Cool or warm?
Warm 100%, no
Absolutely.
doubt.
Here we are subtracting color from Simone, and here alive again. Yes.
You can really perceive harmony between his color and the drapes here, like a flow.
That's right.
Very, very harmonious and nice. So with gray, it's harsh, it doesn't match, it's disconnected.
Very disconnected, yeah, that's his face, and then this color that doesn't really belong, and here there's a beautiful flow. Okay, yeah, everything works. Fantastic. Last but not least, rust, so a very warm color versus electric blue. Very cool versus very warm. Simo, you see the difference.
Yeah. And here is a perfect example that having blue eyes doesn't mean that blue will look good on you.
That's right.
Especially when it's a cool blue.
But it
Like
match.
this one, it match with the eyes, but what about the rest of your face?
Electric blue, cool, or rust, warm? What a difference, my lord. Amazing. So Simone, your undertone is warm, there's no doubt about it. This means that you belong to the right side of the graph. So you're going to be part of the spring or autumn palette, depending on your level of intensity. If your intensity is high, you will belong to the spring palette. If your level of intensity is low, you will belong to the autumn palette.
Okay.
So let's compare this spring green, from the spring palette of course, with an olive green that is from the autumn palette. Undertone wise, both these greens are correct because they're both warm, but they're still quite different as greens, right? This one is very, very strong, very, very vivid, while this one is muted, is delicate, it has a lot of gray in it. Now we need to match Simone's intensity. Is his intensity more similar to this vivid color or to this soft grayed down color? So with the spring green we have the warmth, of course, and also we have a lot of saturation, and we can see how this color works next to Simone. Is really supporting his level of intensity. Let's see what happens with the olive green.
It dulls everything down.
Yes, this color is too gray for Simone. There's too much gray in this color for him. His colors are not muted. They don't include a lot of gray in them. They're light, but they're clear. They're bright, okay? So definitely more similar to this kind of color 100%. Also, this color is quite light, and Simone, since your colors are quite light as well, it makes sense to think that you work better with lighter colors compared to darker colors. So it's a matter of intensity first of all, but even the value is relevant.
The value in this case is very objective, guys. So to analyze a value, we just see his skin is very light, eyes very light,
hair
very light. So there's no doubt that his value is light. This green is working very good because it's light, but also for its saturation.
That's
so
right, because
it's a
it's
matter
very
of intensity.
Yes. So once again, between spring and autumn, there's no comparison, of course. And even here, if we have a look at what happens when we use these colors as backgrounds, here we see harmony, okay? This is a color that works as a background for Simone's colors, while here these colors, is too dull for him. Doesn't work as well as the spring green.
Yeah, it kind of disappear next to Simone's color because his color are more intense and saturated.
That's right.
So he needs like a support, like from the background.
Like this.
So if you want to take a picture next time,
With the
spring green background
Cool.
is gonna be yours.
So Simo, even when it comes to the intensity, there aren't many doubts, right? Your undertone is very warm, your intensity is quite high, so there is no doubt. It's very easy to analyze you as a spring. You belong to the spring palette.
Okay.
Once again, because your undertone is warm, your intensity is high, and also your value is light. Now, the spring palette is divided into 3 subgroups that represent the 3 characteristics of the spring palette. We have spring bright with the brightest colors, spring light with the lightest colors, and spring warm with the warmest colors. So let's have a look at these 3 subgroups in order to see which one is your best one.
Julia, so his undertone is very warm.
Yes.
His level of intensity is very high.
Yes.
His value is very light. Do you think that he's gonna have, or which is gonna be his dominant feature?
I have an idea, but I don't want to share it.
To spoil it.
I want to see what happens with the drapes and with the borderline seasons, but let's see what happens. So, spring green, once again, we already had a chat about this color. It works on you, Simo. Let's see what's after this. Ferrari red. So this red is just medium warm, okay? It's not extremely warm, but still in the warm area. What stands out about this color is that it's very, very strong, okay? Very bright. And it's not overpowering you. This color is too much for a lot of people. On you, it's working.
I have to admit that even the spring green, I think that nobody but a spring that is quite intense can wear that. Spring green is a very difficult color.
Yes.
I'm unique.
You're unique, it's true.
Look at this royal blue. This is a blue for you, Simo, not navy blue. Look at the difference. This is dark and cool, and it's also not as intense as this. Thank you.
Here is the intensity that is working, because the undertone of this royal blue is not extremely warm, I have to say. Just when you compare it with cobalt, you can see the difference, but what is really working here is the value that is quite light compared to navy, and the intensity that is very, very intense compared to navy as well.
Absolutely. If we want to be specific, this is cobalt blue from the winter palette, so this is intense and cool. This is intense and warm, okay? So this is better for you.
Recognizing warm blue, guys, is quite difficult if you don't compare colors together, because if you don't compare it to cobalt, this blue might be looking
like cobalt,
like cool, but as soon as you have the direct comparison, you can tell that there's yellow in it.
Absolutely.
Stunning.
Royal blue and cobalt blue. So this is what it looks like in real life. This is a royal blue shirt and this is a cobalt blue shirt. Okay. Usually cool blues are enriched with cool metals, while warm blues are enriched with warm metals. So as you can see, this shirt has gold buttons.
A spring, in this case Simone, will look for a warm blue. So while Julia can wear both, Simone probably should stick to the warm one.
Okay. Now, sun yellow. Only springs can wear this color. There's nothing to do. Look at this, very warm, light and most of all intense. You see how strong this color is, and it's not too strong for you, Simo. It still works very, very well on you. Fantastic.
I think that is working better than royal blue in this case, a little bit better, because it maintains the same intensity of royal blue, but of course it's a yellow, guys, so it's warmer. And Simone, undertone is very, very, warm.
That's right.
So.
It's also a touch lighter, so yeah, I agree that
Yeah.
sun works even better than royal blue. And then we've got periwinkle, also very nice. Yes, quite
Very
intense.
similar to royal blue in this case.
Yeah. It's not extremely warm, but you know, it's still a medium warm violet, so this is the perfect shade for you, Simo, when it comes to violets. Okay, this is Spring Bright. These colors look a bit too strong, even on many springs. On you, no, they work very well.
I like them a lot.
Yes. Now, Spring Light. What stands out about these colors now is going to be the fact that they're very light, of course, as the name says. So we start with this light green, medium warm, and also quite intense. So the fact that these colors are quite light doesn't mean that they're soft, okay? Because they don't include a lot of gray in them. They're quite clear, okay? They have a bit of white in them. You know that I think I prefer this one over this because it's a little bit warmer.
You know that I was up to say exactly the same. This light green is a little bit warmer than the next one.
Compared to this one. It's not that this doesn't work, this works,
Yeah,
but this one is a touch better because it's yellower. Apricot. Oh,
yes,
fantastic.
yes, so we are in your area here.
Yes. Why? Because this color is very warm, it's very intense, and it's light. That's you, Simone, because you're warm, intense and light. Okay, so this is you translated into a color. And I'm sure that even this one, peach.
Oh, peach!
Fantastic.
You know, Simo, that is the color of the 2024. It's the color of the year.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Ah, yeah,
Got it.
excellent. See that you're already following the trend.
Got it.
You knew you were spring already, so fantastic. And then we've got light sky blue. Okay,
Beautiful.
nice.
Here the intensity is working very well,
Yeah.
and I think that compared to royal blue, this is working a touch better
Because it's also
because
light.
it's also light.
That's right. And then we've got light periwinkle. Let's do a little comparison with the periwinkle from Spring Bright, Spring Light.
You know that I'm not a huge fan of light periwinkle on Simone. How do you feel, Simone?
Don't like the color in general. That color. So
okay.
if we test it with some other colors like green, orange, or whatever, yes. But
Yeah, this one is not really.
I won't like both because it's me. It's my personal thing. But yeah, I think
This and this.
that one.
This one a
Yeah.
touch better.
Yeah.
A touch better. Okay, so overall, even Spring Light is working though. Beautiful palette, this one.
Beautiful.
Probably the only one that we're not a huge fan of is this one. Yeah, better.
Yeah, because it's going a little bit borderline to summer.
A bit too
light.
much. A bit too much.
A little bit too much.
Yeah, this color here, this light periwinkle, would be a color that is shared between Spring Light and Summer Light. So probably we're going too close to Summer Light for you here.
And that, guys, is already a very good indicator because this means that probably Simone borderline season is not gonna be summer light.
Yeah, so probably the lightness won't be his main chromatic feature.
Exactly.
And last but not least, Spring Warm. Fantastic. I love this one.
Fantastic. This one is your blue.
Caribbean green, so it's in that blue-green area. It really suits you, Simo.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I really love this color on you. Now let's have a look at Camo. Okay, so this represents the neutrals colors for springs. So all of this kind of shade, even a touch darker, a touch lighter especially, are all part of the spring palette for your neutral choices. I still prefer this kind of, saturated colors on you.
Much better, yeah.
So remember, guys, that we work by matching. So if we have a certain characteristic, we want to match it with the characteristics of the colors that we choose. So for example, you see that Simone naturally has many colors in his profiles. You have the light white pink of the skin, you have the blue of the eyes, the pink of the lips, the ginger, okay, in the red orange area for the beard and the hair. So he has a lot of colors naturally, so it makes sense to think that combinations, especially with multiple different intense colors, will work very well on Simone. Why? Because we are repeating colors that he has.
Exactly. He has a very high color contrast,
Yes,
basically.
that's right.
We don't have a very high color contrast, Julia,
No,
right? We
no,
are more
no,
neutral.
no. Yeah, exactly.
We work better with neutral color.
That's right. Coral, fantastic.
One of your best, I have to say.
Sì, sì, sì. So even this honey is absolutely fantastic. Let's say that this Simo can be a perfect color for a jacket or your shoes, let's say your accessories, okay, in the brown world, even a belt, for example, right? But your t-shirts, your hoodies, your shirts, you can definitely rely on colors that are more saturated. So the warmth, after all, is fantastic.
Fantastic, yeah.
So all of the three subgroups from the spring palette, guys, as you can see, are working very well. So now we need to check the borderline subgroups in order to see if Simo belongs to spring bright, spring light or spring warm. It's going to be a tough one.
Yeah. At the moment, Giulia, do you have a preference between the three subgroups?
Not really.
Yeah.
What about you?
Not really as well, because we didn't like just a few colors from each of the subgroups, but we like in general all.
That's right.
So
you know, some of the spring bright colors weren't warm enough. Some of the spring light colors were not warm enough. But maybe, you know, the brown is not intense enough.
Because in the spring warm we are going close to autumn warm, and Simone, I don't think that is very close to autumn either.
Now let's analyze the colors from the winter bright palette in order to see if you're borderline with these colors that are very bright like yours but cool. Let's see if we can tolerate the absence of warmth from these colors, and we're not starting very well with this very, very blue based emerald green. It's a cool yellow, but it's still a yellow. We can save it. We can save it. You work well with the yellows, Simo.
This is close to the one that you had.
Look.
No?
Royal blue, cyan.
Same.
Simo. Because it's a touch warmer. No.
Here the coolness is destroying you.
Yeah. No.
It's very visible
No.
here with magenta.
No, absolutely not. Let's say that this is how winter bright is working, and I have the feeling that this is not going to be your sister season, right? Your borderline doesn't look like you're close to this. Let's have a look.
Very far away from winter in general.
Yeah. It's not like Simone can be very, very hard to believe. Let's see. Now let's go to summer light. This is going to be interesting because summer is your opposite, Simo, because summer is cool and soft, and you are warm and bright. So this is your opposite. So why are we testing these colors? Because they're light, and the lightness is one of your features. So let's see if it's enough that the colors are light to make them work on you. That doesn't look like it. No. No. Half, because this one is cool, but it's not extremely cool. There's still a hint of yellow in this. So this would be a color that is shared with spring light.
Exactly.
But if we go to a cooler, you see, no. It's too cool and it's too soft for you, Simo.
It really washes you out completely.
Yeah, I remember this.
Very pale.
I've got the t-shirt like this.
Yeah,
I did last time.
The first time that Simo came here to discover his season, just the season, not the subgroup, he was wearing something like this. I was like, This summer light is really not working. So Simo, we can already say that you won't be spring light, otherwise you would be borderline, or you would be close to this palette, and you're obviously not.
Again, guys, having blue eyes and fair skin doesn't mean that you are a summer.
Exactly, and having blue eyes and fair skin doesn't mean that your undertone is cool. Now, let's analyze colors from the autumn warm subgroup. Now, finally, the warm is here, so the undertone is correct. But let's see if these colors are going to be good in terms of intensity and value. So, this color is good in terms of warmth. It's very warm. But you see that it's a bit gray. If it was a bit brighter, a bit clearer, it would have been way better. You see how your eyes are popping, your skin is, glowing, and this color is, a bit muted.
Off,
You can do a little bit more than that.
Yeah, you can push a bit more. Same here, you see that there's a lot of gray. This is better for you.
Same.
Why? Because it's brighter, there's less gray. You see the difference between an orange from the spring palette and an orange from the autumn palette. Autumn colors look dusty because they have gray in them. Spring colors are clear, bright, clean, without gray in them. So these two colors are absolutely better for you compared to this.
Okay.
This color is, dragging you down towards a low level of intensity where you don't belong.
Yeah, they are very close to the brown area. No, we didn't like even much that brown in the spring
camel,
warm,
yeah.
the camel in the spring palette. So
No. It's too dark, a touch too dark, but most of all, it's too soft. Too much gray going on in this green. Lincoln green. Still, it's a hint more intense, but your greens from your palette, Simo, are way better.
of course, Simo, if you need a darker color in your wardrobes, you can go for a color like that. It's not that in your normal life you have to be so picky.
Of course.
We are picky here
During
because
the
he's
analysis.
in the chair, being analyzed, and we want to assign and find his dominant feature, but
That's right.
it's not that the spring cannot wear a darker color or a neutral color like brown.
Absolutely, very true. Is this palette better than Summer Light and Winter Bright? Maybe a touch. Is it enough to say that Simo is spring warm close to autumn warm? I don't think so. No. We're missing the value, and most of all we're missing the intensity here. So guys, what does it mean? It means that Simone has the three characteristics from the spring palette, the warmth, the intensity and the lightness, as very, very important in his complexion. And as soon as we step out of the spring palette, something doesn't work. This is a beautiful and rare characteristics of a true season. So Simo, your chromatic profile is true spring. Let's say that you're so spring, that you're not borderline with the other seasons. At the same time though, you can choose any color from the spring palette because everything works as long as it's a spring color for you. Okay,
that's good.
True spring. Now, a quick recap of Simone's analysis using our frames. So, at the start of the analysis, we compared cool colors and warm colors. What a difference! It's very evident that cool colors can't really create that sense of harmony that we see here. Absolutely fantastic. So undertone, warm, 100%. Then when we compare colors that are warm and intense and colors that are warm and soft, we can totally see how the soft colors can't really match Simone's level of intensity. We need something like this, something very vivid and saturated. So even when it comes to the intensity, there's no doubt that Simone needs intense colors. After that, we checked the three subgroups of the spring palette, and here we have new frames to show you guys. We started with Spring Bright, which is the brightest palette from the spring season. Absolutely fantastic. Then we analyzed colors from Spring Light. Even these ones, they're lovely. Okay, a bit lighter, of course, but still intense and warm. And then we analyzed the warmest colors from the spring palette with spring warm. Here we can definitely see how golden and yellow based these colors are, and they're still light and intense, so absolutely beautiful. Since Simone works very well with spring bright, spring light and spring warm in the same way, Simone's palette is true spring. Look at this, Simo. All of these colors are absolutely fantastic and perfect on you. You can choose them as you please, okay? You don't have a favorite area inside the spring palette. Everything works.
Okay.
At the same time, though, Simone is not borderline with other seasons. So, Simo, you shouldn't steal colors from other seasons if you can. Why? Because if you go to the winter palette, you miss the warmth. These colors, yes, they are intense like you, but you see that they're cool, okay?
Same.
Too blue based for you. And also, they're a bit dark on you, You need colors that are lighter than this. We wouldn't recommend you steal colors from the summer palette either. Why? Because yes, these colors are light, but they're cool and soft, okay? So we're missing the warmth and the intensity here. So no. Here, when it comes to the autumn palette, the undertone is correct, but once again, these colors are soft and also a bit dark for you, Simo. So the three characteristics of the spring palette, the brightness, the lightness and the warmth, are so important that you cannot give up of any of them, okay? You should stick to all three of them in the same way.
Well, what an interesting analysis, Giulia. Simone, did you have fun with us?
Yes.
Are you gonna start to implement more colors in your wardrobe?
Probably remove.
Excellent,
the wrong ones,
excellent.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you have all the rainbow in your wardrobe, so you started to
Slowly,
decluttering a little bit
Yeah.
from your wardrobe. Excellent.
That's good.
Okay.
Simo, if I can recommend one color to remove from your wardrobe first, gray. Okay.
I've got a really nice t-shirt in grey.
It's okay.
Not bad.
Keep it if you like it, but now you know
Yeah.
that for your following purchases in the future you can
Same.
choose colors like this. This is perfect. Okay, this is absolutely fantastic. Simo, thank you so much for
No
your
worries,
time
thank
today
you.
and for being here on our channel. Guys, if you're interested in a color analysis session here in Melbourne, Australia or online, feel free to visit our website coloranalysis.au. Also, remember to subscribe to this channel and to follow us on Instagram. We're going to see you very soon on this channel with more videos.
Bye.
Bye bye!
Bye bye.